and say it again. We can tell ourselves the warrants are just over the horizon, because the dream that they might be is the closest to home we'll ever get. Not real, just maybe. And maybe is the name we give the dark when we're not brave enough to call it empty. Maybe the Warrens are just past the horizon. Maybe the Warrens are just past the horizon.
Then the warlock tumbled down into an oubliette. The bones of Tugs fell too and landed next to him, unmoving. The fall was violent, the landing cruel. Stone floor, dark pit, the fate of a fool. One way out, and that way was sealed. A massive door, his future revealed. 1,000 locks stared back at him there. Shapes and sizes, too many to compare. No key, just dust and bones on the ground. The skeletons of men who never got out. Then from above came laughter and spite. A pouch hits the stones, lock picks catch the light. With nothing but time and a steady hand, he set to work on the door's demands. Click by click, lock by lock, the warlock works against the clock. Days to nights and nights to days, lost in a pit, lost in a haze. The stubborn ones needed firm resolve. The fickle ones once close could be solved. The intricate ones demanded his eye. The deceptive ones made him question why. The locks became his companions down there, whispering secrets into the stale air of worlds they concealed, of doors within doors, of men who came before him in this endless chore. Then a poison prick and a lock bit into his vein. The chamber came alive, the dead spoke again. What's the meaning of life? One skeleton cried to pick as many locks as possible. Another replied. The warlock laughed till the echoes died, and got back to work with tears in his eyes. Click by click, lock by lock, the warlock works against the clock. Days to nights and nights to days, lost in a pit, lost in a haze. The voices fade as the poison went thin, and he was alone again with a pile in the den. The door still stood indifferent, cool, but the pile of open lives, the pile grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. Click by click, lock by lock, the warlock works against the clock. Days to nights and nights to days, lost in a pit, lost in a haze. One drop left in the flaps, 14 days on the bridge. Stars above, stars below. Oh. Turn the flask over, caught the last drop on my tongue. Should've turned back long before this journey had begun. But I knew if I folded at the seam, I'd die in old regret instead of dying for a dream. 14 days of rope and plank and darkness underneath. Stars reflecting in the black like something that can breathe. Support beams pierce the void every few miles or so. Solid, ancient, incalculable, I still don't know Once I stopped where the wood had rotted black and thin. Clomb the ropes and felt the knots and didn't look down then. Could have been an hour that I stood there making peace with the fact that I might fall into whatever's underneath. Ran out of food a few days back, the island's getting sparse. Blackness swallowed most of them, the mesa's not that far. Can't see the city glow behind me anymore. Just me in the dark and what I came out here for. Stupid cactus on a stupid maze, a stupid flower in the moonlight, nothing could be bleaker. One night blooming for an insect that ain't coming, pollen for a flower somewhere.